Hey there, it's Nazreen from the Golden Nuggets podcast. If you guys are a business owner, consultant, coaches, experts, or self-employed professionals looking to grow your reach, I would like to introduce to you The Podium. It is our flagship podcast where we feature professionals just like you to share your story, to promote your business, and connect with a broader audience in the podcast space. So far, we have successfully completed 10 episodes featuring incredible guests, and the feedback has been awesome. And for a limited time offer, previously we charged for $250. We raised it slightly higher. Right now it's at $300 per episode. It is a 70% discount from our original price. This includes not only being featured in the podcast, but also gaining content to promote your business and credibility that comes with it. If you've been considering to be part of a podcast, now is your chance. Don't miss out this opportunity to amplify your message, reach to new audience, and stand out within your industry. I look forward to see you in the podium, and let's share your story. Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of the Golden Nuggets podcast, and we are still with Sofian.
Yes. Hey. So, Sofian, just before we end part 1, we were talking about the quadrant, right? Balloon, mystery gift,
the ore,
and also the diamond. So, and we have shared with you where we feel we are. How do we actually improve ourselves? Like, for example, for TGN, right? Right now, we feel that we are in awe. How do we actually improve ourselves in terms of to make sure that we have the proof and also the track record to be able to become a diamond?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So that means if you self-categorize yourself as an ore, the main work you need to do will be your promise. That means in terms of your personal brand in the market or the right eyeballs are not looking at you.
Okay.
Right. So the question first, you have to identify who are those eyeballs.
Yep.
What are you looking for? So that's where we start in sales. Like, who is your ideal client?
Yeah,
what does the ideal client
audience
look like? Right? You know this, right?
Yeah.
So then the question is it an investor? Okay, who's that right eyeball? If I ask you if the investor, how does the investor look like? What does the investor want? Okay, what is the goal of this investor? And this investor's track record, right? So we start to paint a picture of who this. If we try to bring the investor avatar here in this room,
yes,
we can give it a name, right? So Ali the
I saw that name coming from a mile away. I only see Ali.
From primary school, they indoctrinate the name of Ali. I don't know, man, but it's such a beautiful name, right? But the point here is that we gotta be clear on who's that right eyeballs are. So people skip this step. Here's the thing: they skip it, and it's good to revisit that all the time. For example, now when I market, because we have to do our own branding, right? And marketing, I always go back to who was my ideal client? I love working with them. They love working with me. They can pay. They have a problem that we can solve, and we just want to continue getting more of those clients. If I ask all of you, can you give a name to who the ideal client is right now? That checks all the boxes. Do you have a name in your mind? A name of a client, someone that you work with that is like that.
So that means it'd be for us to be sponsor, and then we can also do another one, which is the guest that we want.
Exactly. Yeah, you can do too. Yep. So then if let's say the sponsor is Mr. Ali, then you know Ali so well, you need to appeal to whatever the Ali wants. So I always ask myself, this client, we love working with them. How can we get more people like them? Then you ask yourself, how did this client get to know about you? You talk to them. Oh, they found out about you through IG. In fact, some of my clients, I get it through very different, unique, interesting ways. So I'll just share with you. So I had one client on Instagram story. He was playing chess with his son. Playing chess.
Yeah.
So I've been following. It wasn't a client at the point in time, and I saw the story, and I very innocently asked, who won the match? Who won the chess match? And then the person said, I won the match. Right? So I responded, let's play a game sometime.
Okay. So casual.
Talk about casual, right? Let's play a game,
Yeah.
Like, I see you playing chess with your son, And I ask you who won, you say you. Okay lah, you challenge your son. Let's play together. And I enjoy chess.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next thing you know, I was walking into the person's office, playing chess with the person, and now the person is still a client.
Nice.
So there's no. So what happened was after we played chess, I won the match, and then the conversation went into, hey, do you do training? Do you da? And there you go. So you see, it's a little bit like the lead man I was talking to you about. Like people don't really know you yet because there's no opportunity to come. So a lot of the real estate agents, the financial advisors, the founders I work with, they struggle with that. Like they're like like they're good or they are sincere, genuine. But people don't know about them. And this is the harsh truth, by the way, especially if you're a realtor, your service professional in the market. Those who have the higher marketing budget will just outspend the competition and they'll just crush the 100%. Competition.
Yep.
It's marketing budget. It's just the economics of it.
Yes.
So we gotta fight that. That's why if there is no door, you build your own door. So this is very limiting mindset of nobody knows about me. It's so hard. Competition, market is tough. Dude, the door, you knock on 10 doors, they don't open. You create your own door. Like, okay, so what does that mean? So building your own door, creating your own door means if there is no stage, if like you're a speaker, if there's no stage, I will create the stage. I will create my own event.
Yeah.
That's it. If you're a website designer, no clients are knocking on your door say, hey, I want you to design my websites for me. So how can you create or build their own door for yourself?
Right.
You just say, hey, I'm doing a webinar on what you should do if you have, let's say your target market, if you run a business. I'll do a webinar on what you should do for your website, the common mistakes people make. Talk about the pain. That pain is like, oh man.
Yeah.
If you're doing videos, right? What is that door that you can create for yourself? So the reason why this works is because, and I like the scrappy ways, this kind of way, because it's a lot more, what's the word? You're a lot more resourceful. So Tony Robbins talk about this all the time. Sometimes it's not about the resources that you have, but your resourcefulness.
Yep.
Business is about being resourceful.
Yes.
So whatever you have, that's what you make do with to make it work.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you save money.
Yeah.
And you don't rely on ads.
Yep.
Exactly. Wow. I can totally I second every word that you say. I agree, because what I did is basically, you see, in the world of SEO, everyone call it an SEO specialist, SEO company, SEO agency.
Yep.
So how do I create that door that you mentioned? There's this term, I call myself Malay SEO, because there's no such thing as Malay SEO actually. There's only Malaysian SEO based on what I search on the term. And it creates a lot of doors. People want to know what exactly is SEO, the combination of hybrid of use of keywords, blah, blah, blah. Then people get curious. And that's the door which it's opened up a lot of inquiries. So it's like, yeah, you're true, bro.
Yeah,
Bro,
don't
actually
pay for ads. Start creating reels.
Exactly. Organic content. So it's like, wow. Awesome, man.
Actually, what you're saying is what I alluded to previously, which is the personal category. You see, in the Malay SEO is a personal category that you can own.
Yeah.
That if you just keep talking about it, you'll be known as the Malay SEO guy.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I kid you not. I have a financial advisor friend from Malaysia. He puts his name and a fruit. So lychee and then his name. To the point, people don't call him by his name. He now calls him
So
by
cool.
lychee.
Lychee. Oh, ni macam
Lychee.
mango bosku. Orang panggil dia mango.
Exactly.
Wow. There you go, guys.
Put a fruit.
Quote this.
Yeah, put a fruit in front of your name.
Well,
put rambutan.
Exactly, same for the fruit. But the point is that what is that rambutan? So what is that category that you want to be known for? That's why it's easier to start from your category. Because then it's difficult for competitors to cut you in and say, oh no, I do the same thing. No, you're different this way.
Yep.
So starts from category.
Awesome. Like you guys know, right? Abang Abu, right?
Yeah.
His name is simple Abu, so same Abu. But he put Abang in front.
There you go.
It makes him like a brother of everyone.
Yeah.
Wow. Awesome. A simple term that can make people remind you.
Yeah.
So Abang Nazrina.
I don't know. Doesn't count.
Yeah. Wow.
I contemplate a lot though. Should I put Haji not in front of my name? And then I feel like I feel
Berat
so young. Yeah, and then it's so berat. And then like everywhere I go, I need to make sure that it's very extremely Islamic because I use
Heavy.
I want to circle back to something you guys mentioned about focusing on organic and some less focus on ads, right?
Yeah.
Ads are getting more expensive.
Yep.
Cost per click. Everybody knows this. It's not sustainable enough,
Yes.
especially if your marketing dollars are low.
Yes.
Even those who have marketing dollars are reconsidering paying so much for ads. So there are diversification strategies now. So what I'll say here is this: there's a reason why sometimes people lose trust or lose hope in organic content.
Yeah.
You know why? Because of conversion.
Correct.
Because of lack of business outcomes results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to address this as service professionals.
Yep.
And when we work with clients will be like, okay, Hanafi, I pay you to create reels for me. What do I get? I'm sure you get this all the time.
Yeah,
A lot.
all the time.
You guys get this. Every service professional will know this.
Even the podcast.
Are you gonna get leads?
What's my ROI?
Yeah, what's my ROI?
even speakers and
Yeah.
coaches,
Yeah.
especially coaches, right? There's so many in the market. So then, I think what's important for every service professional is to ask yourself, what are the important metrics? What is that number, that metric that you measure? Because at the end of it, we are running businesses.
Yes.
And it's about numbers. Okay, guys, I'm not a numbers person. I learned this very late. Like when I started my business, then I started to learn how important it is. I'll share with you something. And I have a small community. We call it the Buy-In Academy. So I have like WhatsApp group. I share with them all stuff. We give free templates, kind of stuff. And I shared with them a goal setting template or a dashboard. On this dashboard, right? If you're a founder, if you're a business owner, realtor, financial advisor, someone who does sales, it spells out for you all the important metrics you need to track in your business. So I read about what does it take to have a good operating system. This one I learned from one of my clients. So one of my clients, he runs a 8-figure ringgit Malaysian retail brand. Okay, so when I asked him, how did you build such a great business? I'm so curious. I want to learn. What did you do? How do you scale to this number? You know what he said? He said that he looked for the best operating system in the market, the books, and then he found that this is the one. This is one particular one that really stands out. It's very refined, and I downloaded the book on Kindle, just doubled down, and then implemented it. So So when we have dashboards for our businesses, whatever we run, we know whether our business is doing well this month or not.
Yeah.
If I ask real estate agents, financial advisors, founders out there, and I ask them, do you have a dashboard for your business? How many people will put their hand up?
Few.
First question.
Yeah.
Especially if you're self-employed, how many of them track these things? They don't. Now here's the thing. There's a management guru, Peter Drucker, he said, what gets measured gets improved.
Yes.
Yep.
You don't measure something, you don't improve. In fact, studies have shown, if you want someone to lose weight, you don't get them to the gym. You just buy for them a weighing scale.
Yeah.
Every day, they just weigh themselves.
Yeah.
That alone, the fact that they are measuring their weight, it's where change begins. So if I'm trying to look at some business and trying to help them, we always start with measuring all the metrics. For example, what is your simple metrics first lah? What's your revenue, right? What's your margins? How much are you spending every month to get the leads, right? If you're spending money on ads, what's your total media ad spend? Okay, fair metrics, right? Next one, how many leads are you getting every month? How many new leads, not the ones you spoke about, every month? And from those new leads, how many of them became appointments? So let's say I got 10 people that I talked to this month. How many of those 10 people said, okay, Hanafi, Amir, Nazrin, let's jump on a Zoom call. I want to talk to you about it. Usually 10% conversion. We have like maybe one of them out of the 10. And how many closings do you get for that month? So do you close that deal or not? When you do this, not on a monthly but a weekly basis, I tell you, it's a very like sobering and very
Peace of mind.
self-beating. No, it's like
It's like a
self-beating
realization.
kind of like, oh my goodness, last week was
Self-realization.
horrible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that. It's like a self-realization. So like for example, I do this every Monday, we do this. So before we start work, every Monday, and this is what I tell the community, our community juga, every Monday, go open your dashboard, open up metric, just 1 hour is all it takes. Look back at last week. How many leads, and we have a whole list. How many leads came in? How many people you met? And then we're like, oh my goodness, how come so few leads last week?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, then you look back at schedule, what were you doing last week? Because it spills over, you see. So a lot of the times we only realize it 6 months down the road. When actually on that week itself, we could have known, hey, you're going the wrong track.
Okay.
Right? And I'm not even talking about other metrics like CAC and LTV. Like if you're an investor, you want to invest in something that like customer acquisition cost. How much does it take for you to spend in order to get one customer?
Yes.
And then each customer that you get, how much are they valued at? How much are they worth? So for example, if you have 10 customers, Hanafi has 10 customers, Nazrin, 10. Your customers, each person paying $1. Your customers, a person is paying $1,000. Your lifetime value for Hanafi is a lot higher than Nazrin. If I knew those numbers, I'll be like, I know the solution to your business problem. Your clients are just paying you $10. So our strategy, we either increase your price, right? Increase your price. We package something that is worth $1,000.
Yeah.
Right? Or we try to figure out a way for you to go to the right decision makers, eyeballs who can afford the new price. So you see how metrics are tied to so many of our business strategy. And when we know the metrics, then you do things in the business that actually lead to something. Yeah, have you guys ever felt that? Macam kita buat something, tapi kita tak tahu, actually, will this grow my business or not?
Yeah,
We don't
uncertainty.
Yeah.
Yeah, uncertainty. Macam, and I'm saying this on a place I made so many mistakes. So whoever listening to this, if you take this, you guys are way ahead of whatever I learned. Right? So when you know the numbers, you know what's the problem. And then when you know what is the problem, then you have reflection, realization, then you find solutions around it.
Okay, but at the same time, right? Certain things need time for data to be collected for us to be able to tell whether this is actually working or not. So if let's say we are supposed to reflect weekly, how do we know that this is
accurate?
For example, we want to run Facebook ads. It needs time to learn the actual customers that we are looking for, right? If let's say after 1 week we see that 0 leads, then we can't possibly be just changing the ad, or we can't just change the strategy, right? So how do we resolve this issue?
Okay. So I think I'll answer it in a few ways. So my first answer comes from, you don't just track the Facebook ads metric.
Yeah.
You track you zoom out, you have a business tracking metrics. So that means when you start this whole process, you revamp your whole business, you look at your business from a zoom out perspective. That means, let's look at this podcast. Let's list down the 10 metrics that we need to track in order for us to say that we are doing well. How many leads we're getting, how many people we're talking to, our revenue, our profit margin, our customer acquisition cost, our LTV, all these things, right? Okay, now we listed that down. And then like, okay, how much spending on Facebook? Now your question is, okay, so how do I know that it's doing well or not, when I should turn off or not? You only go into those black hole problems because you realize because you didn't zoom out. You see, it's very simple to say. You're fixated on that problem of the Facebook ad, but actually, that's not the real problem. You realize? Like the questions that all of us need to ask ourselves is, what is the problem I'm trying to solve here? The problem I'm not trying to solve is the Facebook ads working or not? No. The problem I'm trying to solve is, how do I get more customers?
Okay.
So we need to ask the question that is really stopping us. So if I ask myself, how do I get more customers? Facebook ads is just one of them.
There's a lot of ways.
There are other ways where in my metrics, I will have other ways of tracking whether I'm getting customers or not. Right? Of course, if I just zoom in on the Facebook ads, I know that the past week has not been too good. If our roadmap, our view is just like the next 1 week. I spend, did I get money? I didn't get money? Okay, I stop. That's a very short-term view of business. So we got to look at a bigger game, long-term scope, and the bigger strategy behind the business. Right? For example, businesses have this thing called a moat. Kan macam ni Warren Buffett lah. Cakap macam kalau you invest pun, like let's say there's a castle, then around the castle there's water. And then the castle's on a hill. Then in the water there's crocodiles. Okay? and then before you get to the crocodiles, you have the gate, the fence around you. A spike fence. And then before you get to the fence, you have, I don't know what else do you have. You have a trench. Like people dig, so it's hard to go in. You see, that's what we have to think about. Like Facebook ads was just the trench. One aspect of the business, but actually there are other aspects that we fail to see. That's why we zoom in on the wrong problem to solve.
Okay.
We are solving the wrong problems.
Yeah, I think this resonates well with me because I used to, back in the previous agency, I was doing videos a lot, right? And then people keep saying like, okay, but you're not bringing in leads. And I was like, yeah, maybe not. But that's just one, right? And then I started running ads also. Still not bringing in leads. But what was happening was that people were talking about it. Like, yeah, I'm seeing Hanafi everywhere. He's at this networking event. He's on the videos. Whenever I scroll Facebook, he's there. He's on the ads in the Instagram. And these are like the things that, is beyond that matrix also, right? Yeah, so I'm like, I totally understand. It's not just one single thing that you're looking at. It's like the whole thing.
Yeah. So I'll circle back and I'll zoom out. So tadi the strategy of Facebook ads, right?
Yeah.
So once you have your metrics, what we need the pillars for the business. That means what are the top 3 pillars that will build your business? For example, let's say for Hanafi, right? You have your metrics for your business.
Yeah.
Now, what are the 3 strategic pillars for your business that if you do them, you will get more money, you'll get more revenue, you'll build your business? The first pillar is maybe you need to meet more corporates. Corporate needs videos, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
The second pillar, maybe for you need to meet more creators, right? Then the third pillar, maybe you need to do more networking, or you need to create more media content. So when you know that the strategic pillars leading up to your business metrics at the back end are these 3 pillars, now what you do, we distill the activities for each of those pillars. For example, corporate, right? So what's something we can do to get more corporate deals?
Outreach.
You can reach out on LinkedIn, you can
DM
call,
outs.
you can. So these are things that you're going to do.
Yeah.
Then the second one is, let's say, content. What are you going to do? I'm going to post 1 reel a day.
Yeah.
Content. I'm going to do my own podcast, whatever that is for you guys, right? And then the middle, what was the middle one?
Creators.
Creator.
Yeah, creators.
Yeah.
I'm going to have my own community of creators. I'm going to, so everything you do has a metric that's linked to the strategic pillars that builds the business. Now, I'll share with you this. Everybody does this, right? But what really makes it into a system?
Operating system.
What makes it a system, right? So that's the operating mechanics, right? What makes, after you do your whole goal setting, your 3-year target. Oh, by the way, for our revenue targets, we don't target like 1-year goals. We don't target 10-year goals. We target every 3 years.
Okay.
So now I'm going to come into like the cadence. How do you do this?
Yeah.
And this one I learned, so this one I'm going to share. You do a 3-year revenue target. Because 1 year is too short
Yes.
to know what's going on. 3 years is just nice. 5 is a bit too far. Do it 3 years. And then we have a dashboard, right? So this dashboard will split out. So that's 12
12 quarters.
12 quarters,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So 12 quarters. So now you know how much you need to make every quarter to hit that 3-year target. You know how much you need to make every quarter to hit that 3-year target. And the dashboard kind of like does the whole automation. So you kind of know. So now if I look at quarter 1, I nak kena buat X amount kan. I need to make this X amount. Then I need to ask myself, okay, what are the products and services that I sell in order to hit that amount? So for example, let's say Hanafi. Sorry, Hanafi is a very relatable example. So let's say your target is $10,000 that month. For example,
Okay.
you have one real package that's $1,000. You have another one, a corporate package that's $5,000. So you know to hit that 10,000 for that month, you need to sell 2 of the corporate and 10 of the
The 1,000.
Yeah.
package, right?
Yeah.
So that's the number units. That's the units. Now the part that we kind of miss out is the cadence, and this makes it into a system, which is you set your 3-year targets. What you need to do is every week you go back to your dashboard. Every week you check. On a Monday, for us it's on Monday. It can be any day for you guys. Monday you go check your metrics. Now, when you plan for quarters. So for example, quarter 1, January, February, March, right?
3 months.
Yes.
So in December last year, me and my wife, we already sat down, planned for the Q1.
Yes.
So you're going to do what we call a quarterly sprint planning. You're going to plan for each quarter. So you have your 3-year, your 1 year, your 1 year revenue goal, then your quarter. So every quarter, right, you have a different focus now. So for that quarter, this quarter 1, what is your focus? Is cash. Okay, then what are the pillars to get the cash? And what are the units you sell to get that? So when you plan in quarters,
Yeah.
right, it's very agile. Yeah, okay, so what?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody like paying
So
attention.
very quiet lah, so
we're, getting,
macam, yeah.
we're getting a free masterclass.
That's
Now.
why-
Yeah,
that's why-
man. I mean, I like it when you break down into like 3 months, quarters, 3 years, and then looking into all these pillars of metrics of success and having that dashboard that we can account for.
Yeah.
Because many businesses don't have even
That's
those
true.
things.
That's true.
And
They
the
don't.
numbers. So that probably make a lot of uncertainties.
Yeah, because like for example, when I asked you about the Facebook ads, right? Let's say we talk about our clients who are property agents. So they will tend to fixate on that because they think that, oh, I spend this money, I must make that money back. But the thing is, I think they fail to realize that, hey, this is not the only one. I need to have multiple ways to actually bring in the lead generation, or in other words, the top of the funnel needs to be stronger, right? So, do you think this is a Singapore business owner problem that where people don't actually understand about
Singapore.
the top of the funnel kind of thing, or is it like generally across the board, like the whole world is having this issue?
Well,
Local thing.
well, as much as we think things are local, actually it's very much universal. Every business owner want to cut costs, want to do it for cheaper.
Yeah.
So if I'm trying to understand your question correctly, what you're trying to ask is that why is it that people fixate on the fact that when they do one marketing activity, it doesn't work for them,
Yes.
and then they give up on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is this a Singaporean problem or is
Yes.
it a universal
Yeah.
problem? Okay.
Because I mean, this is my observation when I talk to business owners, even across the border, like in Malaysia, right? They understand the concept of we need to have a strong branding, we need to have a strong PR strategy before we talk about how do we convert all this into actual revenue.
Yeah.
But when I talk to Singapore business owners, maybe I've spoken to the wrong people also lah. But when I talk to a lot of Singapore business owners, they keep fixating about the bottom of the funnel. How do
of
we
course.
immediately convert?
Okay, so I don't know. My point of view might ruffle a few feathers, might be a bit different. So, but this is because I look at this almost every day. Like I'm very critical about this, right? I believe that if you're selling headphones over here, if you're selling headphones, right? You need to deliver on what the headphones promised. That means when I get headphones, I want to be able to listen to music.
Yeah.
And that's what I care about. The listening to music, we can convert it into a metric, which is how do I know that the music is good, like the headphones are good or not? You rate on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being excellent, 0 tak bagus, not good. That the sound quality, I would say, is 7 and above, then the headphones are great.
Yeah.
Right? And then maybe next quality is price. On a scale of 0 to 10, it's cheap or not cheap, right?
Yep.
So then I can objectively tell you that, hey, your headphones are great. It does what it promised. So you see, every product or service has a promise. So when business owners, real estate agents, say they ask us this, it's because the promise of whatever you're selling is that. The promise is, if I get more visibility, the decision making here process is that if I get more people to look at me and on a podcast, will they want to buy into me and buy my services? Right? So this is a very crucial question, especially if we are service providers. How we answer it matters a lot because it builds or breaks our business. What I would say is that it's not wrong for the client to ask that.
Right.
Numbers matter, right? But we can get defensive and say, hey, it's not just about the numbers, it's beyond just this, you have to do other stuff. But we gotta put a mirror and look at ourselves and say, hey, but the nature of our headphones itself is about sound quality. And now they're saying that, hey, your sound quality is not giving. I can't hear the Interstellar music. Aku tak dengar dia punya podcast sound. And you are saying that, oh no, like it's not just about the sound, it's also about the material. But I don't care about the material. I care about that sound. So I think it's for us business owners to take a look at ourselves, our business, ask ourselves, okay, that means that we just need to be better. We just got to be better, right? I think we can either blame others or we blame ourselves. We blame others, you don't learn anything. You blame yourself, you learn something.
Yeah.
So accountability and ownership. So when I look at my own business, I say, oh my God, someone just said that, well, we go through coaching, would this really help me? So I'm using myself as an example. And I can say, you know what, you guys just don't understand coaching, you never really were accountable. Of course, we will have filters at the front part. We'll filter them out first. But once they come on board and they say, hey, this is not the direction I want to go, listen to them. You gotta listen to what the market is telling you. If the market is saying something, pay attention to that. Right. In fact, you do that, it's better for you to get clients than you go out there and try to get clients. Why? Because once you serve that client well and they say, whoa, your product is amazing, word of mouth and referrals comes in, which is so much better than ad spend. Word of mouth is better than ad spend.
Powerful, huh?
But people just like to get clients. They don't like to retain them.
Yeah.
Retention is the game.
Yes.
There's
If
another.
a few objective thing is like, I guess get more clients, or I increase my prices, clients are worth more. There are only a few ways to make money. Get more clients, increase my rate so I get each client to worth more, or talk to the people that can afford more, or make them a group buy, buy more than one, or I downsell, upsell, cross sell.
Yep.
Then the other ways would be they stay longer with me.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't just buy
Retention.
one time. It's what called recurring revenue, which is for a few months or years.
Focus on the lifetime value.
Or a lot of purchases, repeated purchases. So maybe another way to look at this, how can we get them to buy more things from us? That's one. Number two is
Upsell.
how can we get them to stay longer, right?
Yeah.
So then the question is, okay, client already said that they care about this metric. Question is, how do we make this metric better? This is what we do. This is our work as a business owner.
Yep.
And that's what I had to do.
Okay.
Our business as well.
And for service providers like us, right? And this is something one of our previous guests asked us because
really?
Because we have been interviewing business owners, and I think this is something that we maybe never really ask or rarely ask. How do we actually define the value of our service that we are providing? If let's say people are thinking about just their ROI before they come and get
deep,
our service.
Do you know any question deep?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please.
But it's very valid. Yeah.
It's so important because we face it every day, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, we
people
do.
always ask us questions like, what's the value of this? First, I answer a few ways. One, you need to educate the client.
Okay.
Your problems will be solved if you can re-educate them. For example, I help people to, like ghostwrite on LinkedIn. I help them to build their brand on LinkedIn. Right? That's one of the things we do to get business outcomes.
Yep.
Some people think LinkedIn is like Facebook or Instagram. It's not. They post on LinkedIn how they post on Instagram. So when a client comes up and says something like that, we got to re-educate. LinkedIn is different.
Yes.
We as the quote-unquote expert or the provider need to educate them and say, this is a different platform. So a lot of our problems get solved when we educate them. Yeah, that is, for example, it's not just about this metric. We have to look at the bigger strategy as well, right? So that's one way to answer. So the question is, how do I tell them that this is valuable? Second, look at the metric. So the first answer is educate. Second, what is the metric? Because sometimes we're talking about different things. You say good, I say good. But your good is, I like the texture.
Yeah.
My good is, I love that it's 500 meals, not 250 meals. What are we talking about? Are we on the same page?
Not aligned.
Okay.
Yeah, and scholars define it as defining your terms. Let's
Okay.
define our terms correctly.
Okay.
Good or not good is what? Subjective. So what is how do you define good lah? So you ask them there. In fact, when you first start, ask them that. How do you, what is the target that you're looking for? Then once they give you something, a target, right, and you think it's not realistic, that this is unrealistic expectations, you got to educate. So it's linked to the education part. Then our problem downstream will be solved because expectations were clear from the get-go. Because they knew that when I get on a podcast, it's not just for like that. And if I don't see results now, it doesn't mean that there's a strategy that the podcast is helping you, and we already talked about it together. So another aspect is you co-create. Kita buat sama-sama. We co-create that strategy together with you, rather than we are like a contractor. Like, hey, do this for me. Okay. Hey, how come it's so slow? Okay. Like now we are together. We are partners.
Right.
So the way clients treat us needs to be managed. Because unfortunately, we are in the creative space. Sometimes, like designers, they're undervalued and they're treated like just numbers,
Yes.
contractors.
Yep.
Like, do it in half the time. Like,
Exactly. I just actually just got off a call with a client who is treating us as if we are contractors. So I set my team straight to say that we are not working for them. We are partnering with them. We are working with them as partners. So it's probably good riddance lah. We let the client go because we didn't really meet her expectations. So yeah, at the end of the day, it felt good somehow. Letting this flight line go. Yeah, because that's the part where I think we have to actually draw that line to note that we are no longer aligned because her metrics of good is different from us.
Yeah.
So
Actually, I tell people this all the time, like my clients. Think of your ideal clients that you want to work with. And when you meet someone that they don't align, right, it's okay to let them go.
Cerai.
Not cerai. This one is haven't even together.
Oh yeah.
That's why
reflex.
before you even start working together, it's good to have a lot of ways to qualify them.
Yes.
You can phone call, message, voice message, give them a form. Before you even meet, give them a form, fill up. You see, just by a form, right, I can know whether you're serious or not. Because I got 20 questions for you. Are you willing to spend 15 minutes to fill up my 20 question form? Then you're more serious, right? And then you call, and then you meet face to face. And then after you meet, you see, you ask what motivates you. Like, why? This tactic in sales, right? Which is, you tell people to go to someone else. Like, hey, why do you approach me? Like, you can approach another service provider, but you went to me.
Yeah.
What's the reason you did this? Why me? So a lot of things we need to do to see whether they're serious. Number two is to see whether they are aligned with us.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going in a few directions, tangents, but point is the value, and the last part is never blame the client. Never blame the customer. You just gotta blame yourself. To be honest with you, if this is the most empowering thing, to just blame yourself. Like you have a skill deficiency. It's not that Facebook ads don't work. You are not good at doing the Facebook ads. It's not that coaching doesn't work. You are not good at coaching clients.
Right.
It's not that people don't like your speeches. You're not good at giving speeches yet. Not yet.
So that means there's room for improvement.
Yeah, it's so empowering when you come from that space. And then of course, when you talk about so again, value. At the end of the day, value is subjective. So we got to make it objective. And the relationship between us needs to matter lah. So I think in sales, especially in sales, right, people will judge you all the time. So for example, we say this in sales. We eat rejection for breakfast, lunch and dinner. And a slice of rejection for supper.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
I think that in our community, we could do with a lot more learning about sales. We could do with a lot more, really. Public speaking, sales. Let me tell you why. Not just the fact that I help people with this, right? Sales, it teaches you how to deal with rejection. Do you know that, like, just being able to have that ability, right? It makes you so bulletproof.
Builds
Like,
character.
Yeah, it's like, thank you, next. Sure, it's okay, next.
Yep.
Or this door, I've knocked on the door. I sent out 10 DMs, knocked on this door 10 times. It didn't open.
It's okay.
Next one. Because there's a way to think about this. It's like, if I told you that you just have to knock on 30 doors to make $1 million. Now, you knock on the first door, nobody reply. Knock on the second door, nobody reply. Your mindset is now, I just need to knock on 28 more doors, then the $1 million is there. Isn't it?
Yep.
So we need to collect the rejection. Take it. I need to collect more. Hey, how come not many people saying no to me? You see, if the market is easily saying, okay, sure, this is your price, go. Something's wrong too. Your price is too low.
Yeah.
It's too low. Or like, so again, it's whatever strategy you have. But the point is, rejection is the game. So sales, rejection. Another thing is that it helps you to refine yourself, like really reflect. As a Muslim, bring this back, right? Like spirituality, I think it's a big part. I see spirituality a big part of sales. The irony of it. Like money and then spirituality, but it's sales is the lifeblood of a business. This is the thing, guys. Me included. We tend to focus on the supply side of our business. We don't look at our demand side.
Yep.
I once asked the ex-CEO of a bank, and then a question about business, and then he told me, you know what? He said, Sofian, business is about supply and demand. Everything else is derivative. He used a stronger word than that, but I shall not mention that. Everything else doesn't make sense. I said, huh? And then I that's true. We focus on, okay, supply. I want to make this website. I want to create reels. I want to create a new offer. Yeah. I want to create a podcast. But hey, where's your clients?
Yeah.
We should focus more on getting clients. That's our main focus as business owners,
Yeah.
salespeople, advisors, whatever. Focus on how are you getting your clients. So focus on demand. So content should be demand generation content.
Yep.
So it's signal generation and demand generation. So when they see that content, they feel like, hey, I want to work with you. So have you guys ever been approached by people who sell like $13,000 vacuums kind of?
Yeah.
This is one,
Yeah.
right? I was so close to buying the vacuum.
I bought one.
You bought
4,000.
Yeah, it's 4,000 lah. You bought the which one? The D or the R?
The R one.
The R one. Okay, I got the
to
D
buy a
one.
vacuum, right? I was so close to buying, but my wife said, "Oh, it's a bit too expensive for a vacuum." Then I stopped myself.
Yeah.
But why was I so convinced to buy the vacuum? I was so convinced already to buy it because they came in, they did a free trial. They'll do like look at your aircon.
They said it's a free aircon cleaning, but they say it's not the service. It's a vacuum.
Exactly, right. So here's the thing. That was a lead magnet, but that is a very smart strategy.
Yes.
Of getting into the door.
Yeah.
And you do provide something available free for them. What?
Yeah.
Right. So in sales, besides the rejection and spirituality, I'm going towards the spirituality and sales, right? Which is like, it's a medium of refining yourself and getting to know yourself. And I really believe, right, it's about your craft, right? So, so the saints in our scholars in the religion will say something like this. They said that the world, right, should not be in your heart. The world should be in your pocket. Only when you need it, then you take it out. But if you don't, you take whatever you need and you put it back inside. It's not in your heart, right? Or it's something that you grab, right? But when you don't need it, you let go of it. But once you put it in your heart, then So I see sales and business as the same similar medium. You take whatever you need to function, and then that's it. Let go.
Put it back.
Yeah, put it back where it's supposed to be, right? And I think that business is again a great medium. Sales. The reason why I say sales is amazing also is because once we have sales skills, everywhere you go, people will find a value in you.
Quote
I
that.
kid you not. I kid you not. Like, if you can do sales, you can make money with just a phone. Just with a phone, you can make money.
Yep.
If you have sales skills, you have access to internet, you can make money by direct messaging people. With sales skills, with sales skills, right? You make your writing, copywriting, come sales. So in other words, cari makan senang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't rely on the algo, you rely on ads getting expensive. You always go back to something that can help you build a business. That's why the fundamental is really sales skills.
Yeah.
Right. I have a question.
Yeah, man.
Do you think schools should be teaching sales?
Wow.
And
Okay.
and if you say yes, how would you craft the entire curriculum meant
From
for
primary
kids?
school up.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness me. Okay. I shall not get into the debate. Does school help me for life or
Politics, bro. This one. Later he put on the spot,
I mean, just curious about what your views.
But I get what you mean. I think that you see, if you think about school, right? It didn't really teach us. Okay, it taught us presenting skills.
Yeah.
We learned presentation, communication,
Group work.
group work.
Yeah.
School doesn't really teach us about empathy much. Empathy is something you learn. School doesn't really teach you about sales skills, right? Because this is not the agenda, right?
Yep.
So I think there's space for alternative forms of education, right? To be a safe answer, there's a space for alternative forms. But I honestly believe, like, if you're a young kid, I don't know how old you are, but even if you're not a young kid, even for us, our age group, those older than us, just doubling down on sales is a life changer. It changed my life.
And
It changed my
how
clients' lives.
how would you craft a short program for kids to be able to understand the concept of sales and also to be able to practice sales?
Kids,
From young.
Yeah.
I think that's a good question. Like, I have kids as well.
Yeah.
So I do discuss with my wife about these things. I think that, you know how, like, some people pay thousands of dollars that is equivalent to a university education for preschool kids,
Yeah.
You know that there are some schools that charge the university fees. And in those schools, they teach them arts, presentation, do show and tell, dance, music. So I think I see it in a similar way. whereby we need to expose our kids to buying and selling. We need to expose our kids to, okay, so for example, right? Let's say they drew a plan, or they create a model of a plan, right? Now you tell them, okay, so can you tell me, can you do a show and tell of the plan? Present to me this plan. Can you tell me why I need this plant? So now they're trying to convince you, oh, this plant has, very different, it's very green, in their own language. Yeah. So it's the art of like incorporating the different dimensions of disciplines, which is like arts, the sciences, the history, and just putting it as simple as this example. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Because everything is sales. Even negotiating
Yes.
my kid to mandi, he gives thousands of reasons.
Itu never negotiate with a 3-year-old. Itu tak boleh menang tu.
So I have to use a lot of ways to make sure he...
Just be an Asian parent. Don't do just whack.
Wow.
See, that is something which we ourselves need to learn.
You tiger that, are you?
Huh? No lah.
Cannot lah.
No, but here's the thing, right? Kids teach us so much, even about business and sales and speaking.
Exactly.
For example, with my kid, she's 3-4 years old, Fatima, intelligent girl, very kind, empathetic. They don't want to shower. My kid doesn't want to shower. Okay.
Same.
Susah, nak mandikan dia susah. Ya Allah, Ya Rabbi. To step outside of the house it's a privilege. You can do it in 5-10 minutes, right? For kids, your kids, oh my God, lamanya. So it's really the art of learning that what influences people. Yeah, so I practice with my kid, and we try our best to. Obviously, we fail many times, but when we replace that kid with a human, with an adult, a client, a person, it's about empathy. So this is a part not many people talk about. Sales and business is about empathy. Empathy is a game.
Always.
It's about empathy.
Yeah, it's always.
But the question is, what is empathy? So there's a distinction between pity, sympathy, empathy, and compassion. There's a scholarship that does it. I won't go into the scholarship. But when we talk about empathy, there are two main ways to become more empathetic, objectively. Number one, rephrase. So if someone says, you know what, Amir, this project is so tough. I've been spending 6 months. It still doesn't. It's not moving. It doesn't work. I'm not seeing any results, Amir. You rephrase whatever that they just said. Oh, it looks like you've been struggling with this for a while, and it's really taking a lot of your mind space.
Okay.
So the script on the keywords would be, you use things like, it looks like, it sounds like, and it feels like. So let's say, okay, I shall not mention wife, but let's say a friend.
I think that's what everybody's thinking, right?
Not necessarily. But okay, but let's say a friend. The friend said, you know what, Nazrin, oh my goodness, I think I'm overweight, man. I think like I've been trying to lose weight. I did keto. I do intermittent fasting. I do 1 meal a day. I go to the gym. I'm still not losing weight. Like, what is going on? Like, I really can't figure this out. So I put the ball into your court. I ask you, how would you empathize with the person by saying it looks like, it sounds like, it feels like?
It feels like you have tried everything, and it didn't work out.
And then you pause. Exactly that. That's all. That's all. You don't even have to ask a question. So a lot of people think empathy is asking questions. They think empathy is, oh, I understand. Really? You understand? Your wife says, oh, I had to go through to give birth to our kids. I understand why you had to go through. Really? You mean you were pregnant for 9 months? We will never understand, right?
Yeah.
So using the word understand is a silver bullet to take you down.
Yeah,
Don't do
like
that.
undermine them. Like,
Jangan.
yeah, so
For
Don't say
anyone, for any context, you say I understand. You don't really understand. So I tell people don't say that. Instead, you say it sounds like, it looks like, it feels like. It feels like this has been bugging you for a while. And then you just keep quiet. Pause. Yeah, I've been trying so many things, but it doesn't. It feels like this is not the first time we're having this conversation, right? Yeah, I say I've had. Then they share. That's the point, right? So the first part is rephrase, tactical empathy. The next part is what we call you reflect. So you reflect the emotion on your face. So if someone like recently is macam struggling with macam aku tak boleh fit in my baju, aku tak boleh muat dalam baju, and then your face is like obviously it's a mismatch, right? So the face need to match whatever you're saying.
Yeah.
Right.
So empathy is there's a science to it. Some things you can do. There's a tactical aspect, but at the end of the day, the other aspect is like you need to recognize apa yang orang tu rasa lah. So back to business. A lot of times you can close deals just by empathizing. I kid you not. You don't need to go. I made this mistake. I wanted to pitch to a deal, right? I go in. I really got okay, guys. Thanks for coming. I have a deck. Let's go. And then I just went through my deck. This is someone who I do presentations all the time, and I made that mistake. Instead, we need to stop ourselves, because sometimes we get intimidated by clients, right? And then you worry. No, you say this. I've already prepared a deck for our presentation, but I will not run through it now. I'm more interested to understanding you better. Could you share with me what are some of your goals and your concerns for this project, so that we can help to meet those needs? And then you keep quiet. You open the floor to them, and then they'll share. So get them to talk, and then they'll be like, "Oh no, I last year we tried this," and then now they are teaching you how to close them. They are teaching you what are the decision criteria for you. For me to feel like, oh, this is amazing. I want your service. But if you didn't ask that question, you never know. You just went in pitching.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's a rookie mistake in sales to talk. So how do you know you're good? You're doing well in a sales call. If you're talking more, you're losing. In the call, once you realize that you're talking more than them, you're not doing a good job. That's how you know that in this sales call, I'm not doing a good job. So it's got to be like something like, oh, so what brought you here today? Oh, why is that so important for you? They'll talk. Oh, what else have you tried? That's interesting. That should be the majority of the conversation. Then to say, okay, on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being this is what you want, 0 being this is not what you want, where are you now on the scale? I'm a 4. Oh, why are you a 4? Why are you not a 10? Oh, because I still don't know what I don't know. Okay, what does it take for us to be at a 10 right now? So if we learn sales, right, there are a lot of ways to close people as well. The ability to close, that's called a scale close. You scale it on 0 to 10, and then you try to get them up to a 10. So what does it take for you to be a 10? If they say, you know what, I'm at an 8 now. Oh, that's really good. It means 8, you want to go ahead with us. Yeah. Why are we not a 0 or a 1 for you? Oh, because you guys are really good. You guys show me your products. You show me a roadmap. So these are all the criteria that are in their head. And now what's happening is they are selling themselves into the product.
They're qualifying themselves.
You're not talking, you know. They are doing it.
Yeah.
So there's a saying in sales, they say, people love to buy, but they hate to be sold to.
Exactly.
They love to buy. Like, we love to buy stuff. I just don't like to feel that someone
People
forced
sell
me
you.
to do it.
Yeah.
I want to do it in the philosophical sense. There's some more agency. I got a choice versus there's a structural system coming in place to stop me, kind of thing, or controlling me. So there's the scale close. Then there's also like what kinds of close are there's like soft close. Oh, okay. So if we were to show you some of the things today, will this grant you greater clarity? And they say, yeah. Okay, sure. Let's start. That itself is a close.
Yeah.
It's a soft close. Why? Because
They haven't signed yet.
The philosophy in sales is that if they can say yes to your small questions, when the time comes for the big asking for money or the deal, it's easier.
I call it the yes ladder. You make them say yes. Is this gonna work for you? Yes. Right? Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
Does this look good? Or are we gonna be?
Are we on the right track?
Yes.
Is it okay so far?
Yeah.
But here's the flip of the script. There's also the no.
Yeah.
Making them feel no. And this one, not many people do it.
Yes.
I personally feel that I myself am not doing it so much. But it does work in the sense that someone comes up to you, they want your service, right? And then you say something like, we need to get them to say no more than saying yes. So get them to feel comfortable saying. The philosophy is, if they can say no to you without major repercussions, it means that they feel safe with you.
Yeah, to open up. Yeah.
Right? So you say something like, right, it wouldn't be crazy if I were to share with you about how we can help you, right?
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't be crazy at all. Sure, come and share with me. Like that. That's something, because it's a little bit anti of what we are used to. So that's why it's a little bit tough to get into that. But it does work.
Yeah.
Like, no, of course he won't. Of course he wouldn't.
I don't mind.
Of course I don't mind.
Yeah.
Oh, you wouldn't mind. Something like that. That's a good one. Wow,
Would you mind?
no, you wouldn't.
Me sharing stuff like that.
You wouldn't be stepping on your toes if I can share with you more about this, right? No. No. This won't be stepping on your toes. Sure, come and share. They are okay to say no. So there's a flip of that script as well. So then comes into negotiation. What makes a good negotiation? Many people think is I win, you lose. I not gonna get what I want. You tak boleh get what you want.
Yeah.
That's not a negotiation. A negotiation is a win-win. So I'm not sure how often the viewers or you guys get into negotiations. I've been in. I do get into quite a number of them, and when I'm in negotiations, I tell myself they need to win. If they don't feel that there is a win in this conversation, we are not gonna leave happy.
Yep.
So we both need to win. Okay. So then you ask yourself, what does it take for them to feel there is a win? This question is a powerful question. Okay. It starts with what? What does it take? What does it take for us to build a 7-figure business? What does it take for me to give a speech that they will love and call me back? What does it take for me to build websites such that people tell other people about it? What does it take is a beautiful question to ask. So the questions that we ask ourselves, if we refine them, it will be better as well. So, yeah, what does it take? Right? So, in short, what I'm trying to say here is that it's a combination of a lot of things. So in negotiation, right? It's a win-win, number one. Number two, when you negotiate, it's really about knowing this thing called BATNA.
Okay.
Best alternative to negotiated agreement. Short, casual terms, it means that what's the least, you cannot go any lower than this price. Right? You go any lower, then that's it. But that's just one part of it, the price. But here's the thing. If they want that lowest price that you cannot, you say, okay, you know what, I cannot go any lower than this. What is the exchange that you're willing to give? What's the trade-off? So for example, some people do this all the time, right?
Yep.
You pay less, sure, but you will have one chair instead of two chairs.
Yeah.
Things like that. You need to come in knowing what can you trade off. So that's why, as a professional, as a founder, as a salesperson, real estate agent, financial advisor, it's good to have a product and service ecosystem. You jangan fikir that you are just a product or a service. I sell websites. I only do websites. No. The websites, those are the core. That you are the Eiffel Tower. You are the Eiffel Tower. But what's around the Eiffel Tower are the shops that sell the cakes.
Yeah, the cafes.
Which
pastries.
charge higher price than the Eiffel Tower ticket to go up the Eiffel Tower, apparently. That's what I was told. So as a person of influence, the founder, what's around you is your product and service ecosystem. So my question to you, what is your product or service ecosystem? Do you have a PDF to give away for free? Do you have a quiz? Do you have videos you push out for free? Have you guys heard of 7-Eleven 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Google did a study. In order for someone to trust you, to give you money for an exchange of your service or product, they need to go through 7 hours of your content.
Yeah.
That means like 1 hour of a podcast, it's -1. 6
Yeah.
hours left. I spend time reading your book, and that's another hour. Do you know that? 7 hours of content. Therefore, we as creatives, we need to push out a lot more content for people to decide. 7. Then the 11 is touch points. I cannot stress enough, right? Remember we spoke about retention? Semua orang nak just get clients, tapi no one keeps the clients kan. The touch points matter so much. From the time where, hey Hanafi, I would love to find out more about your Reels package. If you respond within a minute, if you call them within 1 minute, right? Studies have shown that it's a multiple of 2 or 3 or times closing rate. Just by responding within the minute. Okay? Now, if you cannot do that, how fast do you WhatsApp message them back? So the next follow-up will be, the next touch point, so to speak, will be, thank you so much. Let me get back to you. In the meantime, here is 3 links to my website, my portfolio, and my testimonial page. Do you give them another touch point to get to know about you? Then the next touch point will be a voice message. Hey, hi Ellen, or hey, hi Ali. Thanks for reaching out to me. You're interested to know more about my Reels package. Very curious to know, could you tell me more about yourself? What got you? How do you find out about me? Like, why me? Why not someone else? Your voice.
Yeah.
That's a touch point itself. Some of you might not be comfortable with the voice message, But I kid you not, it makes. Okay, I'll tell you a side quest. Okay, this guy, he got a voice message from a female speaker.
Okay.
And after he got the voice message, he was like, "Oh my god, this person responded. You know, they were the impact of a voice talking back, a human talking back,
Okay.
is very powerful.
Yeah, agree.
It's more personalized,
Yeah.
right? It builds a connection with you. It doesn't matter guy or girl. The point is that the people hear people's voice,
Yeah.
right? So the voice could be another one. Then another one is that, okay, let me give you a phone call today. That's another touch point. So 11 different touch points, like you know, let's say IG story, I get to know you. We met doing Mendaki, right? We did it for coaching. Like, what else? We chat a little bit. That's another touch point too. Those touch points, and then the 4 is 4 platforms, 4 channels: face to face, LinkedIn, IG, Facebook.
Yeah.
We work on a project together. That kind of stuff, lah. So 7, 11, 4, I think will help us push people greater down the funnel.
Okay. One last question before we end of the show.
Sure.
11 touch point, right? Must we really do the 11 touch points, or if it's like lesser, it's okay? And must you really count? You know, like people say, if you want to have make sure you digest your food well, you must chew 21 times. It's also a sunnah, like, you know, most of the people don't subconsciously count 21 times, right?
I think that's a good question. I think what I'll just say is that instead of thinking, it has to be 11, not 10 or 9 or 12, I'll just say that it just tells you that touch points matter. That's all. Just
That's just, I guess, a guideline.
Number.
It's based on studies.
Yeah.
So, but at the end of the day, as a business owner, you just know, it's important to have more touch points. Yeah. So I think that's the approach I'll take.
Nice.
Okay. It's a good session today. We really learned a lot from you.
Like a master
No,
class.
good, bro. Awesome.
Yeah, and
Alhamdulillah.
you know, we really feel. I'm sure they will agree. We really feel like having you for the second round will be also something.
Hey, why are you speaking of me?
Sometime.
No, I'm kidding. yeah, we totally agree. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you keep us silent, listening to you,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, bro.
I don't know if that's a good thing, man.
Listen
No,
intensely.
it's a sharing, which I think I mean, me and Nafi have been hearing a lot of marketing stuff again and again and again. But your version of delivering
Yes.
is a fresh,
Yep.
new thing, which I think many of our listeners will appreciate it.
Yeah, I
Hope
think
it's beneficial,
I
yeah.
think it's beneficial for the listeners also, and
Yeah.
I think they have a fresh perspective
Yes.
on how to look at sales and how to bring in money and how to build their company.
Yeah.
And I think plenty more lah.
Yeah, and I believe it's just a tip of the iceberg.
Yes.
Where can people get to know you deeper and probably have that 11 touch point for you?
Where
From
can they
you.
contact you?
Yeah, and also avoid from being a idiot sandwich.
I mean, we are on LinkedIn, Abu Sofian Yunus, and on Instagram we are Abu Sofian Speaking. So Instagram and LinkedIn is where I live. We don't have Facebook. We're not active there because it's not native to our clientele. So, and because of certain things about Facebook, the people there. But point is, we want to focus on value and benefit.
Yes.
So more of those we felt fits with LinkedIn and Instagram.
Yep.
And I have a free course you guys can take if you guys want.
Okay.
Nice.
This is an email course.
Okay.
5 steps to more leads.
Oh,
Okay.
cool. Where can
Every
they sign
day you get 1 email.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's bit.ly/5 steps to more leads.
up? Nice.
Macam something to
Bitly link ah.
Billy link, yeah.
Okay.
So
Bitly
anyone out there, you guys,
/ 5 steps.
5 steps to more.
5
leads.
steps to more leads. Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys can take the course and it will help you to get clients.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. Anything else
No.
from you, Nazrin?
I'm
Anything
good.
else from you? All good. So, Abu Sofian, thank you so
Yes.
much for gracing this studio with
Yes.
plenty of
Appreciate
your
your time,
knowledge
Yep.
and wisdom. And I'm sure the listeners learn a lot more. And
Yes.
I think I totally agree with Ami. We would love to have you back sometime.
Inshallah.
And
man.
I hope the listeners agree too. And with that being said, I think we shall end this session. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.
Okay, guys.